Recently, a viewer shared with me that her family had moved into a new house just a few months ago, but things had already started to become a bit chaotic. Before, she and her husband got along quite well, but lately they had been arguing more and more often. It could start from something very small, like putting an item in the wrong place, and sometimes even money matters would quickly turn into a disagreement. Over time, the two of them began talking to each other less, and the emotional distance between them slowly grew wider. Hearing this story, many people might recognize a familiar picture of their own family somewhere in it, because when we move into a new living environment, our daily routines change, pressures increase, and conflicts can easily arise. However, besides the changes in daily life, there is another factor that people rarely pay attention to, yet it quietly affects us every single day. That factor is the way the living space inside the home is arranged and organized. According to Feng Shui principles, when the layout of a home is not arranged properly and the different areas of the house are not balanced or harmonious, it can gradually influence the way people talk to each other and how they behave toward one another. Even though every family has its own unique circumstances, from many cases that I have observed, it is clear that small mistakes in home Feng Shui often become hidden causes that affect the ability of couples to maintain connection and preserve harmony within the family. So what exactly are these major Feng Shui taboos that can quietly lead to cracks in a couple's relationship? In today's video, we are going to explore 7 major Feng Shui taboos in home design and simple ways to adjust them in order to maintain harmony within the family. Now, let's begin. According to Feng Shui, the architecture and layout of a house are always closely connected to a person's psychological and emotional state. The spatial arrangement and the balance between different areas of the home can directly influence the daily life of family members, which in turn affects how they communicate and maintain harmony with one another. Interaction between architecture and human psychology. In traditional Eastern Feng Shui theory, a house is often viewed like a living body, with energy flowing continuously through its architectural pathways. The structure of the home and the emotional state of the people living inside are closely connected. The way spaces are arranged and balanced can influence daily life, communication, and the overall harmony within a family. The interaction between the living environment and human behavior is also reflected in how spaces are arranged and how energy moves through the home. According to Feng Shui principles, the physical form of a house determines the quality of the energy surrounding its residents. When the structure is harmonious, energy flows smoothly and supports vitality, but when the layout is poorly arranged, that energy can turn unstable, gradually affecting patience, emotions, and mental balance. When key areas of the home are disturbed, psychological pressure may build up, leading to tension or conflict between couples. The Bagua system also assigns each direction of the house to a specific element and to the role of a family member. When energy in these directions flows smoothly, relationships within the family tend to remain balanced. But if important areas are disrupted, tension can appear in daily life. Small disagreements may occur more often, causing couples to fall into cycles of conflict and emotional distance. In this way, imbalance in the living environment can gradually weaken the connection between family members. At the same time, harmony between the internal energy of the house and the external environment is considered essential for stability. When the structure lacks balance, energy circulation becomes chaotic. This can affect daily routines and the ability of people to recover their energy, which may eventually lead to strain in a relationship. Because of this, identifying major Feng Shui mistakes can help homeowners recognize areas that quietly weaken the bond between partners and restore a healthier flow of energy within the home. 7 Feng Shui mistakes that can harm a marriage. Number 1. The imbalance of directions and the structural form of the house. The foundation of a stable home begins with the square and balanced arrangement of directions, each representing a family member. In the Bagua system of Feng Shui, every direction corresponds to a specific element and role, creating harmony between heaven, earth, and humanity. If a house has structural flaws or design mistakes at these key pillar positions, it can become the root cause of tension in a marriage. An ideal house should have a complete and balanced shape so that energy can circulate evenly. However, in reality, terrain limitations or architectural errors often lead to missing corners, especially in the two critical life-related directions, the northwest and the southwest. The northwest direction belongs to the Qian sector, associated with the metal element. It represents the husband, the father, and the main pillar of the family. In traditional Feng Shui, the Qian sector is considered the command center that governs the fortune of the entire household. If this corner is missing, or if it is used for areas that accumulate negative energy, such as bathrooms or trash storage, the authority and stability of the man in the house may decline. When the energy flow in the Qian sector becomes polluted, the family's main provider may frequently suffer from health issues and gradually develop a tendency to avoid responsibility or spend less time with the family. In contrast, the southwest direction belongs to the Kun sector, associated with the earth element. It represents the wife, the mother, and the nurturing qualities of the earth. This direction governs romance and the overall stability of the household. When energy in this direction is weakened or lacking, it can affect the fortune of the woman in the home, making her physically vulnerable or emotionally wounded. Over time, this may lead to suspicion, misunderstandings, and repeated conflicts. Alongside directional balance is the relationship between the azure dragon and the white tiger, following the principle azure dragon on the left, white tiger on the right. The azure dragon on the left symbolizes masculine energy and the upright strength of men. The white tiger on the right symbolizes feminine energy and the gentleness of women. According to Feng Shui, it is better for the azure dragon to rise extremely high rather than allowing the white tiger to dominate. If the right side of a house is significantly higher than the left, it symbolizes the female side overpowering the male side. This imbalance may cause the woman to become more aggressive and controlling, while the man may develop resistance and opposition. As a result, family harmony weakens and couples struggle to find common ground. To remedy missing energy in a corner, homeowners can place a large mirror on the wall adjacent to the missing area. This creates the visual effect of expanding the space, allowing energy to circulate as if the structure were complete and square. If the northwest corner is missing, placing metal-related objects such as bronze wind chimes or statues of great historical figures can help reinforce the husband's authority and presence. For the southwest corner, decorating with earth element objects such as ceramic vases, yellow quartz crystals, or paintings of mandarin ducks can enhance nurturing energy. This helps the wife regain emotional balance, strengthens the bond between partners, and restores the harmony between yin and yang to protect the family from unnecessary conflicts. In cases where the white tiger side is too dominant, the homeowner can hang dragon artwork on the azure dragon side to restore the yin and yang balance and protect the family's happiness from invisible conflicts. Number 2. The kitchen and Feng Shui mistakes that directly clash with financial energy. In Feng Shui thinking, the kitchen represents the source of income and symbolizes the fortune and power of the woman in the household. It is also considered the heart of the home, the place that keeps the flame of family happiness alive and gathers nourishing energy for every member of the family. However, it is also one of the areas most vulnerable to disturbances and common Feng Shui violations, especially those involving the conflict of the 5 elements, which can weaken the bond between husband and wife. The most common major conflict is the clash between water and fire. The stove represents the fire element, symbolizing warmth and life. Meanwhile, the sink, refrigerator, or washing machine carry the characteristics of the water element, which can extinguish or disrupt fire energy. This elemental conflict symbolizes disagreements that cause couples to lose emotional balance. In particular, placing the stove directly opposite the water faucet can lead to financial difficulties for the family, often resulting in arguments triggered by economic pressure. Another common mistake is placing the kitchen in overly exposed positions, such as directly facing the front door or using the balcony as a cooking space. These layouts can cause financial energy to dissipate. The front door is known as the mouth of energy. If the stove is visible immediately upon opening the door, the positive energy entering the home may be burned away by the fire element, making it difficult for the household to accumulate wealth. Similarly, the modern trend of placing kitchens on balconies can symbolically weaken the family's fire. The wind can easily extinguish the flame, representing a fragile marriage that is easily influenced by external factors. The buildup of cooking, smoke, and grease in an area meant to receive fresh air can also disperse good fortune and weaken emotional connection between spouses, leaving the living space feeling heavy and stagnant. Kitchen cleanliness and organization also reflect the fortune of the female homeowner. A kitchen where grease accumulates for long periods or where water systems are clogged or leaking is considered a sign of energy and financial loss. To correct these direct conflicts, homeowners can place a small green plant or a green mat between the stove and the sink. This creates a productive cycle of elements where water nourishes wood and wood nourishes fire, helping neutralize the direct elemental clash. For kitchens that are too exposed, using curtains or decorative partitions can block direct energy flow, protect privacy, and preserve the warmth of family happiness. Additionally, maintaining clear plumbing systems and keeping the cooking surface clean helps restore the flow of financial energy, allowing the woman of the house to maintain emotional stability and her role as the keeper of family harmony. Number 3. The bedroom. Factors that disturb psychology and emotional connection. In Feng Shui, the bedroom is the space that holds the strongest energy of love. It is where couples restore their health and deepen their emotional bond. This area should prioritize peace and quiet so that energy can gather and nourish the body after a long day. However, in reality, bedroom layouts often contain mistakes that create negative energy, directly affecting sleep quality and marital happiness. One of the most common Feng Shui taboos is the pressure created by overhead beams, known as oppressive energy above the head. Placing the bed directly beneath a ceiling beam creates a form of structural pressure, generating an invisible energy force hovering above the sleeper. Moreover, the presence of beams can block the smooth circulation of energy, creating psychological pressure that makes people feel trapped and tense. Over time, this may lead to headaches, insomnia, and declining long-term health. Within a marriage, this constant pressure can easily trigger emotional conflicts between partners and may become a hidden cause of deep relationship cracks. Another major Feng Shui taboo is placing a mirror directly facing the bed. This arrangement symbolically creates the illusion of a third person appearing in the relationship. Mirrors usually carry strong reflective energy and are often used outside the home to deflect negative forces. But inside the bedroom, they can cause disturbances. When a sleeping couple is reflected in a mirror, it symbolically creates the image of another couple intruding into the relationship, which can stimulate suspicion. In addition, mirrors reflect light and movement at night, disturbing the mind and interrupting deep sleep. This can leave people feeling irritable and less patient with their partner. Beyond mirrors, poor choices in colors and furniture arrangement can also affect the homeowner's mental and physical condition. Overusing intense colors such as red, purple, or deep pink can make fire energy excessively strong. On the other hand, dark colors such as deep blue or charcoal gray can create a gloomy atmosphere. Both extremes may lead to unnecessary arguments between spouses. A cluttered bedroom filled with electronic devices can also generate disruptive energy, destroying the sense of peace and blocking emotional connection. Softer colors such as white, light green, or gentle pink are more suitable choices. They help stabilize emotions and strengthen lasting affection between partners. To restore balance from these disruptive factors, Homeowners can install a flat plaster ceiling to hide overhead beams or move the bed to another position. If relocation is not possible, hanging 2 bamboo flutes tied with red string at both ends of the beam can redirect the energy upward and reduce the pressure while sleeping. For mirrors, they should be moved to positions where they do not reflect the bed or covered with cloth at night to preserve the balance of yin and yang energy. Removing electronic devices from the sleeping space and keeping the bedroom tidy will also help restore the flow of emotional energy, creating the foundation for an open heart that can listen to and understand one's partner. Number 4. Peach blossom energy and the risk of outside relationships. In Feng Shui, the peach blossom area governs romance and social relationships. When this area is arranged properly, it can support harmony within the family. But when it is misused or over-activated, it may trigger what is known as peach blossom sha, which can lead to emotional complications or outside relationships that threaten a marriage. One common cause is placing artificial flowers or too many fresh flowers in peach blossom positions. Artificial flowers represent imitation energy and symbolize shallow or insincere emotions. Placing them in relationship areas may encourage vanity and emotional distraction. Even fresh flowers can create imbalance if used excessively in directions such as east, west, south, or north. Too much romantic energy in these areas may become unnecessary for someone who is already married. When flowers are left to wither without being replaced, the decaying energy can gradually affect the emotional atmosphere between partners. The correct peach blossom direction depends on the zodiac sign. For example, people born in the years of tiger, horse, or dog have their peach blossom direction in the east. Those born in monkey, rat, or dragon years have it in the west. Snake, rooster, and ox signs correspond to the south, while pig, rabbit, and goat signs correspond to the north. Improper arrangements in these areas can disturb not only the marriage, but also the romantic fortune of children in the family. If emotional distance begins to appear, it is recommended to remove artificial flowers and empty vases from the peach blossom area. Instead, placing symbols of loyal couples, such as paired mandarin ducks made from rose quartz or artwork representing harmony, can help restore positive relationship energy and strengthen the spiritual bond between partners. Number 5. Door alignment and the loss of positive energy. In Feng Shui, doors are considered energy gateways that regulate the prosperity of a home. Ideally, energy should move through the house in gentle curves so it can spread evenly through the living spaces. When doors are placed directly facing each other, they create a direct energy clash that may disturb the mental and emotional stability of the residents. One of the most serious problems occurs when the bathroom door faces the main entrance. The front door is where positive energy enters the house, while the bathroom releases waste energy. When these two doors face each other, beneficial energy entering the home may immediately be weakened or carried away, affecting family harmony and personal success. Another common problem is when the bedroom door faces the bathroom or the kitchen. Moisture and unstable energy from these areas can disrupt the calm environment needed for rest. This may cause couples to argue more often over small issues. There is also a condition known as piercing heart energy, which happens when the front door and back door align on the same straight line, or when a long hallway leads directly into private spaces. In this situation, energy flows too quickly through the house and cannot gather. Symbolically, this represents money and opportunities coming in but leaving just as quickly. Financial instability created by this energy pattern can place pressure on a marriage. To reduce these problems, curtains or partitions can be placed between opposing doors to soften the direct energy flow. Placing a green plant opposite the main entrance may help absorb negative energy and stabilize the space. For homes affected by the straight line energy issue, hanging a wind chime near the back door can help disperse and slow the flow of energy. These adjustments may help restore both financial and emotional stability within the family. Number 6. Decorative objects that carry aggressive energy. Personal decoration choices sometimes unintentionally violate Feng Shui principles and create an environment filled with tension. In Feng Shui, every object carries a certain energy and vibration. Displaying items with aggressive symbolism may introduce negative energy into the home and affect the relationship between couples. Paintings of predators, violent scenes, or decorative weapons such as swords, spears, or knives in living rooms or bedrooms can create sharp and aggressive energy. Objects with sharp edges stimulate fiery emotions and impulsive reactions. Couples who are constantly exposed to such imagery may find small disagreements escalating quickly into intense conflicts. Even leaving knives scattered in shared spaces can increase restless energy and disturb harmony in the home. Similarly, keeping too many broken or unused items can cause stagnant energy. When energy becomes blocked, financial luck and vitality may also stagnate. A cluttered home can create mental stress and make communication between partners more difficult. To restore balance, violent imagery should be replaced with calming artwork such as landscapes, peacock pears, or peony flowers, which symbolize love and harmony. Sharp objects should be stored safely out of sight. Removing broken or unused items allows fresh energy to enter the home and helps maintain a healthier emotional environment for the family. Number 7. Dark living environments and the weakening of yang energy. The physical condition of a house, especially lighting and humidity, plays an important role in maintaining family happiness. Homes that lack natural light and contain damp areas often indicate weak Feng Shui, where negative energy can easily accumulate. According to Feng Shui philosophy, balance between yin and yang energy is essential. When yin energy becomes too dominant, mental strength and emotional stability may gradually weaken. This imbalance can reduce patience and emotional control, causing couples to grow distant from each other. External environmental factors can also weaken the house's energy. Homes located along certain directional lines or those exposed to strong outside disturbances such as overpasses, high-voltage power lines, or constant noise may experience disruptive energy fields. Over time, these influences can affect mental health and relationship stability. In practical terms, dark and humid homes often cause emotional heaviness and stress. Houses located near places such as hospitals or cemeteries may also experience heavier environmental energy, which can affect both health and finances for the family. To strengthen positive energy, homeowners should regularly open windows to allow sunlight and fresh air into the house. Warm yellow lighting can be added to darker corners to brighten the space. Using a dehumidifier and cleaning mold or damp areas will also help restore healthy energy circulation. In locations exposed to strong external energy, protective Feng Shui objects such as a convex bagua mirror or a pair of protective statues near the entrance may help block harmful influences and maintain harmony within the family. So, in many ways, Feng Shui can be seen as the art of harmonizing the connection between human emotions and the living space. A happy home often begins with a genuine sense of care and respect for the place we live in. When we adjust structural imbalances or reduce sources of negative energy, the mind becomes calmer and it becomes easier for partners to understand and support each other. Changes in Feng Shui often begin with a simple intention: the desire to preserve peace and work together to nurture the home. As these small adjustments take place, the living environment gradually regains balance, allowing the emotional connection within the family to flow more naturally and remain stable over time. If you still have questions or concerns about home Feng Shui or related topics, feel free to leave a comment below. We will explore and answer them together in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.